Okay, guys, welcome back to your Grimerica Outlawed Roundup for was October 20th, 2025. I mean, it seems fucking bonkers. It's almost Halloween.
Yeah.
The timeline is accelerating, if anything. So I should ask you. So yeah, it's 2025 with Law of the Land and Chemtrailer. You said August was the fastest month of your life.
I think so, yeah.
Still fast.
Between the long weekends, felt like a week.
September is not accelerating.
Well, does feel like it. I mean, I don't know, maybe the same. September, October have been fast as well, but I kind of expect, well, maybe it's because I don't really care if they're as fast, but August, because of summer, I always want August to drag, you know?
Yeah, I get it. So I'm the opposite way because I'm looking to get through it for hunting season to start. So there you have it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my fault that your August went by quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, buddy. Anyway, what's new? What do you got? We got I mean it's been cold here. It's fall proper is settling in for sure. Below zero. Some ice, seen some ice out on the pond.
Well, I had a little bit of a heavy snow, but not a lot of snow, but it came a little bit, but it was very wet and heavy, and a bunch of trees went down. The power lines got broken next door. It felt sad in a way. The trees, like the one first little tiny snowfall, and the trees big branches broke off. Like a branch probably this big broke off our tree just from a tiny little bit of snow.
It gives you from your tree,
Yeah.
gives you some more respect for the trees that make it out there in Saskatchewan. It's a hard go.
They get blown around a lot here. It's windy. It's brutal.
I think the thing is though, they're not used to that wet snow.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, they're not. No.
Not
So speaking of climate and snow, I don't know what's happened to my X feed, but I did this experiment where I went on to the trending tabs there, the trending tabs, and I clicked on each of those and I kind of scrolled by. I liked a few things. Like I think it was late last night or something, or yesterday. And then today, my feed is full of climate change. A bunch of people just pushing climate change.
I don't like anything ever, almost as a rule.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't like anything ever? Okay, yeah.
It's
Yeah, I
really
mean,
hard to
it's
get a like out of me, except maybe on Facebook, or something where it's some pictures of someone's
yeah,
kids and my
I like
kid.
a lot. Yeah, I like a lot. As a
Yeah,
rule, I like almost everything that I see from people I like.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like anything ever. I try to avoid it.
We're so opposite.
So my algo is
We're
just
so opposite.
completely based on what I pause and watch on and stuff like that.
Ian Thorian says, "I get my kid gets likes from you." Yeah, is that the same on Instagram as X too for you, or
I don't like anything anywhere
really? Oh,
unless
that's
it's like
hilarious.
somebody. Unless it's I do like some stuff on Facebook or maybe some stuff on Instagram, but usually only if it's like somebody I know. Like one of my buddies posts a picture, I'll probably like it. If you post something, I'll like that.
Yeah, that's a business decision.
Yeah, and the wife pictures, all that kind of stuff. Family members, people I know like this stuff, but nothing that will like fuck with my algo. I got my algo in a good place right now.
Yeah, but I didn't that the climate change stuff isn't from me liking that. It's not.
Now it's in your algo,
It's
so
scrolling, dude, it's unbelievable scrolling through it. And then you know what else? I mean, of course, this other stuff that I'm gonna talk about a little bit on the show here, that City of Richmond letter. Like, I mean, I don't know how the algo seems to think you wanna see, like, a million copies of the same picture of a letter. Like, don't you think you've
well,
sent me
that's
this
not
enough?
the algo. That's the machine.
What?
The machine wants. I mean, it can't cram it down your face from Wall Street Cronkite anymore. It just can't. It used to be able to just like send that letter to like 5 people and be like, "Here's what we're running with," right? And then that'd be all over the evening news, and Graham would get to see the letter someplace or be in
What's
the
it
newspapers. But now No one's consuming any of that shit anymore. So the only alternative is to make sure that it's plastered all over all of the social media everywhere. And by design, this is sort of that fake viral shit that you're talking about all the time. Our stuff ain't doing that. We've even had some stuff that's even like started to go viral, and it seems like somebody threw a rope around it and choked it out.
So so that's algos to me, not machine. What's the difference?
Nah, I don't think that that thing hacked the algos. Otherwise, I mean, just by the rule of how much stuff we've put on the internet by now, something would have snuck through the algo. I think it's artificially amplified.
Oh, I see. Well, that's what an algo that's to me, that's what an algo is. It's an artificially amplification
Well, an
from a
algo should
formula.
just be something that's a formula that's sort of in place all the time that thing
Oh,
can.
it gets manipulated. I mean, that's the way I
Yeah,
look at it.
exactly. It's being someone's like punching some keys somewhere, and it's like, and
So
the
why?
sad thing is that you see it on X too. So it's like it seems to be top down everywhere. Doesn't matter where you go.
And it's about
Yeah.
stuff that you would be like, "Why does everybody want me to see that? Why does everybody want me to see a letter from the city of Richmond?"
Honestly,
Bas
this is probably why I spend more time on Facebook than the other apps these days, is because I don't see it there. It's
Yeah.
like because they,
But don't you
e
get a bunch of
everyone
fake
freaked
ads?
out.
You get a bunch of ads for stuff that's terrible and do
I
I
don't know.
mean, I
I've
feel like
bought some stuff off the Facebook ads before.
oh, I know.
I've been
Yeah.
roped in before.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure I'm like everything Maria sees on there, I feel like it's super suspect.
But everyone freaked out when they blocked the
Ostriches?
news. No, the news, remember? Facebook, like, wouldn't pay the thing, so then because the government tried to shake them down and say, "You need to pay us this much to do news links," they said, "Now we're just gonna ban the news links." So, honestly, everyone was freaking out, but I swear it's, like, the best thing to happen to Facebook. It's just it's still not back to truly social media where it was, like, a bunch of people you knew, but it seems to be a step closer to that. And there's not just fucking constant news stuff cramming through your feed all the time. And yet they still allow our stuff. So we're not considered news. So I can still post like our links and our trips there.
And your memes and stuff?
Oh yeah, there's still a lot of political mumbo jumbo. Don't get me wrong, a ton of it. It is like the mainstream politicization of the culture is into there too, but it doesn't seem to be as I don't know, ubiquitous maybe, or not as like all encompassing. Like the thing about when I go on X is I just feel like it's an all encompassing octopus of politics that just wants to grab me and fucking hold my eyes open when I cram the latest culture war stuff down my throat.
So does Facebook allow groups to talk about jab injuries and stuff like that now? Are they back to like, have they stopped censoring?
I think I don't know.
They kinda some of these platforms kinda have to follow X in that way because if X is just gonna let all that stuff go, I mean, I
And
think that's why
YouTube is
YouTube's
now too,
back.
right? If
What?
YouTube's gonna do it and X is gonna do it, then
The other
Meta doesn't
platforms
have
have to
a choice.
follow.
But Meta seems to have really, I mean, like I said, they hadn't even given me a strike or anything from going from getting strikes all the time to not getting a strike in a long time. That all seems to have relaxed a little bit. We're in the eye of the storm
Yeah, that's what I feel like. Yeah.
in some ways. Speaking of eye of the storm, how about this one from your buddy over at the WEF, Yuval Harari?
Oh, I got this clip too. I'll put that away then.
Put that away. He says science is not about the truth, it's about power. He says those who own the data own the future. This isn't a conspiracy theory, it's their stated plan. So I don't need to read all this. I think we could just listen to the clip.
In the same story. In order to collaborate on a large scale, you need to convince everybody to believe in the same story. What really the engine of history is stories. And they don't even need to be true. Some of the most powerful stories in history were fictions.
Right.
But you need to get everybody, or at least a significant part of the population, to believe in the same story. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Science is not really a thing.
What doesn't work?
My view as a historian. Science is not really about truth. It's about power.
What, you want to replay it a bit?
No. What doesn't work? He says it doesn't work. What doesn't work? Narrative control or controlling the population, or why can't we just all believe different stories?
I know exactly. That's why the it's not working. The current plans aren't working because of people like you. I might add, you are part of the problem.
The real aim of science as a project, as an establishment, is not truth, it's power. Particular individuals, particular scientists may be very interested in the truth, personally. But as an institution, the real aim of science is power.
Those who own the data really own the future. We are reaching a point in human history that we have enough biological knowledge and we have enough computing power, and all you need in order to systematically hack millions of people is just the data. That to hack people means to know people better than they know themselves. To somebody in San Francisco, in Beijing, knows you, knows more about you than you know about yourself, about your medical condition, about your mental weaknesses, things that you did 5 years ago, 20 years ago, you completely forgot about them, they know it.
Right.
This is something we never faced before. Not even the KGB could do it.
Right.
And we are already beginning to see the emergence of such total surveillance regimes in places like Xinjiang, in places like in my own home country in Israel. We have this big laboratory of surveillance called the occupied territories, where you have 2.5 million guinea pigs of how to completely survey and control a population with very few soldiers. I mean, when you look at the numbers, it's amazing how few soldiers you need to control millions of people if you have their data.
Bring it on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's just get there. Get there so we can get to the other side. People will wake up. They will fail at their attempt.
There you have it.
It'll be used for the good of humanity. Love will win in the end.
Love will win. There you have it. Love will build a bridge. Here's another one from Camus. The sky is not what you think. A former Air Force insider reveals the alarming evidence of deliberate atmospheric contamination. I mean, I got to give Graham credit on this one. I used to make jingles to make fun of him for his chemtrail stuff 10 years ago, but he really has been somewhat vindicated. They told her it was a conspiracy theory. She set out to prove it, and instead it proved her entire worldview wrong. Christian Megan, a former USAF environmental engineer, was tasked with a critical duty of proving or denying hazardous chemicals to protect human health. She found massive unexplained quantities of aluminum, barium, and strontium in forms like oxides and sulfates with no listed manufacturer on safety sheets. So let's play it. This is a bit of a longer clip.
Bioenvironmental engineering. My job in the U.S. Air Force was working in bioenvironmental engineering. Part of my job in tracking the health hazards was to look at any time someone wanted to buy a chemical. It was ordered through a system, and in that system, I had to go in there and say, you know, the country we're in, we're not allowed to use this. We need to substitute it out with something a little less hazardous. I want to say around 2006, I started kind of opening my eyes to how the military wasn't really what I thought it was. And people approached me knowing what I did for a living and said, have you ever heard of chemtrails? Well, I hadn't. So I went online and I looked at chemtrails. I saw a lot of, debunking, a lot of sites that were just kind of calling it a conspiracy theory. And I thought, well, geez, this is what I do for a living. Preventive health, making sure that people are not getting sick. To summarize it, in an attempt to debunk this conspiracy theory as I thought it was, I didn't debunk it. It literally changed my life. One day I was going through that computer system, which if you want to look it up, it's called an Air Force Form 3952. It is the approval of hazardous materials. I was finding tons and tons of large quantities of aluminum, barium, strontium in the forms of oxides and sulfates. One of the legal requirements in approving these is looking at what used to be called a material safety data sheet. On that sheet, it's going to list the manufacturer. These electronic MSDSs did not have a manufacturer name, so I asked the question, what is this being used for? I never got an answer, so I didn't approve it. And then the heat came down. Why are you behind on your 3952s? And at that point, my demonization began. Because I thought, if this is real and they are spraying this, it's going to get to the ground. So I conducted air sampling, I conducted soil sampling, and I was getting high levels of these contaminants. When I started asking the question again under a new commander, I never in my life thought I would have somebody look me in the face and tell me, I am questioning you. Is there something wrong with you? You've been looking really depressed lately. You know I can put you under mental evaluation for up to 120 days. Who would take care of your daughter? As soon as I heard that, I knew. And I thought, I've spent 9 years of my life trying to protect human health, and here we are violating law after law after law. Instead of protecting the people, we are poisoning the people. And that geoengineering is occurring, it's been occurring, it is not new, and your tax dollars are funding this. I've had pilots come forward. I've had people come forward that actually load the canisters on the planes. These people don't come forward because they are afraid that they're going to end up like Snowden. So many people want to ask why. Why is this occurring? From weather modification to weather weaponry. There's numerous reasons under Agenda 21 and tons of theories. So I just want everyone to know and understand that of all things, of all the freedoms that we are losing, geoengineering is the #1 issue that we are facing, because you can have guns and money and you can have everything. If you don't have food and water and you are dying of respiratory or neurological illnesses, what does it matter?
What does it matter, Graham?
It matters because the corporations need to recycle their chemicals somewhere, and that's the best way they can do it. What if that is the best case scenario?
Well, I got a follow-up to that for you here.
They have to recycle it, and instead of burying it, where else are you going to put all these chemicals that are this waste, chemical waste? Where are you going to put it?
This is from the Wall Street Apes. This is one of the most important videos you can watch. American farmer says he's tested his soil and it has 5 times the amount of aluminum it used to have.
I've got to show you guys something. This is traditional sweet corn. Now, what's really wild about this is not what we used to call our heirloom seeds. This is just our regular sweet corn that you buy off the shelf. This is GMO corn. Now, we grow this as our field corn. And the reason I want to show you this is I'm going to show you 2 things. This is heirloom corn. Now, we don't weed it. Normally every year, this corn has come up and done really good for the last 10 years. Same seed, so I've grown it over and over, and we rotate our crops. But also, you look at the sunflowers. Once you look at them sunflowers, the sun, I can't see it, but well, the sun basically is right there, and they've got the flowers have turned away from the sun. This is not something, obviously, if you look down this, that's our garden. We grow over an acre worth of just garden. So what I'm trying to get at is something's not right. There's 2 things here right. The amount of aluminum in our soil now is 5 times to 10 times higher than it was even last year. Let me show you something else. Now that sweet corn is bought, like I said, from the store, so it's not an heirloom seed. It's supposed to be an all-natural seed. It's non-genetically GMO, but I'm starting to doubt it. However, these are cucumber plants. Now, traditionally, those cucumbers, I'd have so many. After putting them on the stand, we'd be giving them away, giving them to food pantries. And our corn, you know, the heirloom corn, we'd be giving it away. Our garden this year has suffered the worst. It's not due for not water. These are some of our hot pepper plants. Normally, these plants, I would have so many of these hot peppers that you wouldn't be able, I wouldn't be, like I said, I couldn't sell enough of them. We'd be giving them away. And hopefully we have a better garden next year. So we still got enough that we're going to be able to maintain costs, operational costs. We still have our vegetable stand. It's just not booming like it usually is. We've let the weeds kind of come back up and take over some of the garden because we weren't getting the production out of it what we should. So the stand's good. We're going to can enough for our family, but as far as being able to provide for others, it's not going to be as viable for us to be able to do that. Y'all have a good day.
So he didn't really get into any speculation on why the aluminum is 5 times. It kind of seemed like a little side.
Well, I think it's sort of unrelated. It's like just an unrelated clip. That's why I sort of think it's sort of neat, because he's not related to those chemtrail guys. This is just a random farmer complaining about too much aluminum in his field somehow.
And where could that be coming from?
But you see the GMO stuff was growing fine.
Yeah.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
So I just thought that was interesting because it was a different one. It was a completely different.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Anyway, you want to take a turn?
Yeah. Let's get into this land, the law of the land.
Actually, wait. Let me do one more before you do that. Let me do one more.
All right.
I got to see if you seen this one year or yet before it gets too serious around here.
Yeah.
Did you see the nature documentary crew filmed a mysterious humanoid figure running with caribou?
Yeah, I don't see that that's a humanoid. I just
This little thing here.
Yeah, I don't know. Could have just been like yeah, I don't know. It's just not enough, man. It could have just been a black could it be a black caribou or like an elk or something falling behind, or a wolf or something? Like, why do you say it's a humanoid?
I didn't believe it at first either, but then the more I watched it, the more
Yeah, I don't know. It does look like a humanoid is skipping through, but I don't know. It
like
just
a hunter. Maybe it's just a hunter following the herd. He's
yeah,
just,
it could be. Yeah.
it's awful.
Yeah, exactly.
It's awful black though, right?
It definitely looks like a hunter, but yeah, I mean, maybe he's just not wearing a lot of green. I mean, maybe he's just not well,
It's just a black hunter.
Does seem to be hidden in the valley there.
Interesting, eh? So you did see that one already? I thought I might surprise you with that one.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
All right.
Not gonna pull one over on me when it comes to Bigfoot.
You think I wasn't thinking Bigfoot. It seems more like a shadow person or something.
No, I was thinking Bigfoot for sure. Well, what do you think? So have you seen this thing going around the city of Richmond?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's everywhere. I haven't read it. I get the gist of it.
So it comes from that court case and Northern Perspectives did this video kind of like debunking the inflammatory response, because again, what the other thing that went viral was the court case, right? That talked about it was the longest court case in Canada, and it sort of said, okay, you guys have rights to this land. It was supposed to be designated a reserve at one point, and it wasn't. And Richmond owns part of the land, but there's also some private ownership in there too. And the Northern Perspective video was like talking about how it says in the fine print, or there's somewhere in there that says like this isn't going to affect people's private property. Like, don't get bent out of shape. It's not going to affect people's private property. And I was like, all right, well, good job. I mean, you went deeper than all the rest of the media, alternative media too. And then this thing's floating around. I used to own a house in an apartment in Richmond. So this would have been coming to me.
This would have been you. Too bad you weren't still there.
I know. I was in where I lived? I was living in the little condo complex where the really old people went to see their parents. That's what they called it.
Really?
You don't get it?
You're living in an old folks home?
Pretty much the retirement place. Yeah, it was like really old, like built in the 60s or 70s. And yeah, it's called Apple Green.
You're just like way ahead of the gentrification.
I was like the youngest guy. They wanted to get me on council and everything. They were trying to like, bash me. I was like, no.
All the old broads hitting on you in the elevator.
So here it is. Notice to registered owner. Please take note that the recent BC Supreme Court decision of Cowichan Tribes versus Canada, 2025 BC SC 1490, made some very important decisions which could negatively affect the title of your property. I almost feel like this can't be real. A briefing paper prepared by the City of Richmond staff is attached for your reference. If you look at the, hang on a sec. Zeus, come on, buddy. Zeus. If you look at the draft map attached to the briefing, your property is located within the claim area outlined in green. For those whose property is in the area outlined in black, the court has declared aboriginal title to your property, which may compromise the status and validity of the ownership. This was mandated without any prior notice to the landowners. The entire area outlined in gray is claimed on appeal by the Cowichan First Nations. Given the serious implications of this court decision and the pending appeal, the city is hosting a information session October 28th, blah, blah, blah. We don't have to get into all that. Please phone us or email us to confirm your attendance. So I guess that's to a pretty specific area. I guess you have to be, to get that letter, you got to be in that area. So Brian Breguet or Bregway here says, I'm not a lawyer and I generally don't care about legal technicalities. All I care is that such decisions cannot stand. We aren't going to destroy this country for decisions made centuries ago about so-called property rights. So I support whatever it takes to eliminate this problem. If that means modifying the Constitution, then so be it. Let's reopen it and save this country. But this is an existential threat to this country. So we need to be ready to do whatever it takes. That's pretty harsh, Brian.
Well, to be clear, it's an existential threat to British Columbia.
Weird contradiction in liberal theory. This is the post from Sulla that I copied here. In liberal legal theory is that this is a really good point. Squatters are entitled to your property after being there for 30 days, but you have to give up what you rightfully paid for because 200 years ago, someone allegedly stole it. I mean, that's a good point. So, and then Marty up north here says, imagine getting this letter from your town. The court has declared aboriginal title to your property. Oh, I'm not sharing that. So let me share that. Fee simple, obliterated. Let me just see
It's
here.
a BC problem, though.
We're talking mansions, golf courses, blueberry farms, and more. Your absolute deed, now just a shitty IOU to treaty ghosts. The city and province are screaming appeal, but good luck with that. The courts are compromised. Welcome to the reconciliation roulette, where woke judges flip your hard-earned mansion over to the Indians, who then turn it into an Airbnb or a casino. Who's next? Calgary?
Won't be Calgary.
Won't be Calgary?
Well, Calgary's treated. This is the problem with BC is it's all this, they never just dealt with it. Whether it's right or wrong, they don't have any, they haven't dealt with the BC Indians. The treaties stopped right at the BC border. The Alberta Indians could jump up and scream and say this or that, but they'll just be like, hey man, you sign the paper that says shut the fuck up, basically. At the end of the day, you can fish, you can hunt, but you ain't getting the fucking land. That's what
who's going to say that? Everything east of...
Well, that's basically what all the treaties say, right? That's basically... But then the treaties also give the Indian Act, so the two come intertwined. That's why, ideally the
Indian Act
goes... But they have these documents that basically give them the rights to the land everywhere up to the BC border. And then none of the BC... Now I might be wrong about some of it, but my understanding is all of it, if not all of it, definitely most of BC was never treated or ceded or dealt with. They just they've just been ignoring it through one thing after another when it was made clear that there was a problem. All of this like Twiknuk or whatever, all that stuff with the pipelines a few years ago, all this stuff is going on because they haven't dealt with that problem. There's a reason why you don't see that sort of, because there's less of a legal, they've had this BC problem that's been hanging over them for 100 and some years, and they've just sort of been ignoring it and going away. Now, what I'm curious if this is a new document or if this is still older than the when we debunked it last time on the other show.
That letter from Richmond?
Yeah. Because remember we went through the court ruling, and unless there's been a new court ruling, it said that private property was explicitly removed from the thing. It was only going after public land.
Yeah, that's why it's weird that letter came out right after that. Yeah.
Because it went back to court and something changed, or it's just some people kicking up some, it's just trying to get people riled up.
No, or the city of Richmond just doesn't have a clue. I mean, that could be the case too. They just don't.
Well, they'd be the ones fixing to lose their land. So the more riled up they can get.
Oh, the city's not going to lose their land. The
That's-
city of Richmond's not going to lose their land. They've got it.
I think a bunch of it down on the river was designated as city land, and some
Yeah, it
of it
is. Yeah.
public land, and they were losing that.
I don't think so.
I don't have the map handy anymore.
Yeah, I don't want
Point
to
to
search
say it
for it.
was all none of it was private. The one we read anyway said no private property.
So
So either something's changed or it's just like flipping over the same rocks we were flipping over. What was it, 3 months ago?
yeah, 2 months ago maybe. So my unpopular opinion is this is great because there's problems across Canada. It's not just in BC. Like this specific problem is happening in BC, but the Indian Act is a problem in BC. Like there's a problem brewing in Canada, and it needs to come to a head. And they need to give ownership of the land on the reservations to the Indians or do something different, right? I mean, it's like there's a major issue. So this is just going to bring all this stuff to this is going to be good. We're going to have to deal with this stuff, get it over with, get it done without getting violent, without any civil war type stuff. Like let's, like divvy up the land, give the Indians their land and keep some land for everybody else. And whoever's bought private land is exempt from all that. I mean, why is it so? I don't understand why it's so hard of a thing.
Especially when the government owns 89% of the land.
But instead, you're just virtue signaling and doing these fucking land acknowledgements that are making it worse. Everybody's blaming the land acknowledgements. Everybody is blaming the virtue signaling for this. What?
We should say instead of the Indian Act?
What?
Instead of the Indian Act?
Do what?
I mean, because, yeah, right. At a minimum, at least it might get dealt with because 10, 15, 20 years ago, everyone was content to just stick their head in the sand.
Totally. Yeah. Now everybody's
What?
freaking
Something weird? Starlink offered me a free Starlink Mini.
A free Starlink what?
Mini.
Oh, cool. Wow.
They're hurting or what's going on there?
No, they know you're just a solid customer with a good podcast. They're like, we want to get this guy out hunting, doing stuff for hunting. Okay, let's keep going on this topic here because I'm not done. So this is the law of the land. Now, have you seen this?
Is this the ostrich thing?
Yeah. It's still going on.
I haven't.
I mean, it's getting so dark and so disturbing that I'm kind of I don't even like to follow it. I'm a bit blown away actually. So this is recorded live coming from the ostrich farm a few minutes ago. This is from Such As Life. The indigenous leader just presented so this is on the eastern, I think this is way up east, close to close to Alberta, but it's in eastern BC. Maybe it's not that close to the border, but it's definitely in the mountains up there. Just presented the RCMP liaison notification that they and the CFIA, that's the Canadian Food and Inspection Agency, are trespassing on their land and they are to leave. So here we go. So we have these farms. This is real important, folks. I'll be amazed if it's going to be respected, which could mean a new court challenge coming, especially if the CFIA continue with the call. Does the Waho have jurisdiction in Canada over unceded land? She's giving them an hour for the response. So before we play the clip, I mean, some of the stuff we've been seeing, like they built this kill box with all these hay bales, double thick, and they've got these ostriches are running around. They're chasing these ostriches, trying to grab them and get a hold of them. Like they can't handle them properly. They're building a new road into the back. They've absconded the neighbor's farm, apparently. Like I haven't double checked all of this stuff, but it's super creepy, man. What is the big deal? And nobody wants to talk about why this is really happening, that the government took money from Moderna and they don't want the natural immunity in all these ostriches, right? They're doing tests. They don't want these ostriches alive. Right? With what?
Seems like an op, this thing.
It seems like an op. So here's this.
It's so long and drug out. It's like, if you're going to kill them, why aren't the fucking things dead already?
Exactly. Because you know what? They don't know what they're doing. They don't even know how to kill them. I really don't think they know what they're doing.
Just chop their heads off with a fucking sword.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Get a guy in a Get a ceremonial sword out there. I mean,
I
there's
should
lots
get
of.
my Indian buddies out here, and we'll go fight these Indians to kill the ostriches. We want them dead.
Oh, you're gonna get some hate for that. I mean,
Ah,
you've been out shooting too many ducks lately. It's like these aren't just normal birds, Darren.
they're delicious,
They're
probably.
smart. They're like pets.
They're probably
They're more like pets.
imagine the drumstick on one of those ostriches. Like Flintstone shit.
So here comes the chief, not the chief, sorry. She's the I don't know. Let's see what she says here. It's gonna be hard to hear, so I'm gonna turn it up and we'll see. I'll try to Darren can translate.
Okay, thanks.
I can't translate.
Okay, thank you for bringing this to me. And I'll
So the
Not a
guy
coastal
the,
Indian.
the RCMP guy is just saying, okay, thank you to bring this to me.
okay. And we'll bring it up, and then we'll see what the CFIA says, and I'll bring back an answer to you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate
Alright.
it. Suppose we are gonna be the ones that you're gonna ask the legal to consider it.
Well, I can't say if that's
I
gonna
know,
happen or not,
but you're the one who's gonna be,
I'll be the messenger for this.
yep,
Okay,
and ask him with me.
give us a little bit of time. All right.
You've already been given enough time,
So he says, give us a bit of time, and she's like, you've already been given enough time, buddy.
so whatever.
Time's up, buddy.
This is new to me.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
gonna be new, but it's the law, because you're only policy enforcers.
The law of the land.
Here, I'm here to enforce the law of the land. I'm the
She's here to enforce the law of the land.
law, because you're only policy enforcers. Here, I'm here to enforce the law of the land. I'm the steward of that law.
All right. I'll bring it up. How to
You
make
can
the
ask them again.
decisions, right?
I know.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I'm only here to serve the law naturally, and it comes natural. There's nothing. It's not a threat either. It's a promise.
Okay. Thank you, Super. Go.
I should start serving people with stuff.
Yeah, there you go. You should just go down there and say that.
Just, hey, I'm here from the Ojibwe Council, the great Gulf of Ojibwe.
You're the spirit of the law. You're the spirit of the law of the land.
Oh man, I bet you I could hustle some money out of some woke shit downtown. Like I'll just start going into all those highfalutin offices like lawyers and doctors. I'll get some regalia. I'll just be like, hey man, I represent the spirits and they want you to give me money. So I've got like one of those things that I could plug into my phone to scan cards even so they could tap. This could be quite a racket. I should do it.
You're the spirit of the law of the land, Darren Grimes. You're
That's
the
right.
spirit of the law of Grimerica.
That's it.
I think she was asking to get in there to count them and to actually just stop them from doing all that, but I don't know. It's just creepy thing that's happening.
Yeah.
All right, here's a little entremont here. This is from remember what Justin Trudeau was saying about being a post-national state? This is Tony Blair, apparently.
And I think in a way, for a country like Britain, whose future has got to be as a nation of global citizens, not just British citizens, then I think interfaith in this context is incredibly important, because you cannot be a global citizen and be religiously illiterate.
Did you hear that? You can't be a global citizen and be religiously illiterate. So basically he's saying, this is from Tokyo Rosie. This is the same language Trudeau used when he called Canada the first post-national state. It represents the coordinated effort among globalists to wipe out Western civilization to appease their own white guilt. Oh, I didn't read this part. And Donald Trump is the only thing standing in their way. I mean, that does seem to me to be the case. Could be all one big complex non-human entity designed psyop. I'm open to that, but I don't think that these guys are smart enough to put this thing together on their own. Did you hear any of that? Did I play it?
No.
I didn't play the clip. Did you not hear the clip?
No.
What did you hear? A bunch of silence while he was talking?
No, I heard that, but you didn't show it.
Oh, I didn't show it, but you heard it. Okay.
Do you want to show it?
Nah, it's just a 23-second clip of Tony Blair talking. I mean, I don't know. You almost can't believe anything these days, but it does sound.
Well, speaking of Tony Blair, what do you think of this? You think this is real? The carbon score. This.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, there is. a clip here.
with a carbon score. This is terrifying. In the UK, they're starting to label food with a carbon score. Like this sandwich, eating this uses 8.1% of your daily dietary carbon allowance. And the UK has been trying to get this personal carbon.
What?
I gotta correct it. It's not eating it, it's buying it.
Just buying it, even if you don't eat it.
Even if you don't eat it.
Even if you throw some out. That's
Even
what
if you throw some out.
Allowances passed since 2008. The government decides how much carbon you are allowed to spend every day in order to fight climate change, along with carbon passports that will tell each traveler how much carbon they are allowed to use each year. In other words, how much they're allowed to travel. And all of this is happening right after the UK has rolled out digital IDs mandatory to work. My guess is that digital ID will go in a digital wallet where you might also keep your carbon passport and track your carbon personal allowance. Oh, and don't forget the digital vaccine passports, that would go in there too. They got to make sure that you're up to date with your boosters if you want to travel or work. So if you live in the UK, you might want to be careful how many sandwiches you eat this year because you might not be able to fly home for Christmas. As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
I seen it going around Twitter and it seemed like it was legit.
It looks legit, but you know what's funny is I was thinking of that exact example today when I was thinking about what's real, because I had it and I'm like, do we want to bring this up on the show or not? And I thought, I don't even know if it's real. It looks real, but maybe it's just a fake thing. And I was like, we could make our own labels for food and just have carbon footprints and just trick everybody. I mean, it's like we're almost at that point where there's just no point in seeing anything. It's just going to all be about personal relationships and doing things in person, because nothing will be believed online. It's coming soon. I mean, there'll be a percentage of people that believe, like the ones that went out for the Trump rally, like, you know, the people that are watching CBC, basically, the No Kings rally, you know, I mean, it's like a bunch of white boomers. It's unbelievable. I don't know if you saw any of that. They can't even answer questions of what they're out there doing. It's just sad. This is where we're at. Meanwhile, Carney actually swore his allegiance to a king. He literally swore like, I know it's all just fluff and it's all just for show. Like, oh, it's just a ceremonial, right? We don't really have a king in Canada, but he swore allegiance to the king. So you're just gonna just take that as just that's just all fluff. You can swear allegiance and just not follow through doing what the king wants you to do at some point.
You call him the king of Canada.
He called him the king of Canada.
No more kings.
No more kings.
Except for that one. That one's cool.
Meanwhile, in BC, let's stay in Canada here. I'm just going to get rid of this. I've got some jab stuff for the second half, but this is interesting.
The entire obstetrics division in Kamloops has resigned. Every one of them. So I just heard something that's completely unbelievable, and I wanted to hop on here real quick and say something about it. 7 gynecologists gone. Their reason? Systemic underfunding and the inability to recruit new doctors. Now, Interior Health says they will still be doing C-sections for now. This is an emergency for women's healthcare, and this is what socialist healthcare gets us. Your money goes to bureaucrats while doctors quit and patients suffer. So what should we do? We should be cutting funding from the NDP's bloated bureaucracy. We should be hiring more doctors. We should be hiring more nurses. We should be hiring more frontline workers. And we should be giving doctors the freedom and the funding to care for the women of this province. Since 2019, healthcare management costs are up 52%, and hiring managers is up 36%. There is actually now 1 manager for every 4 frontline workers. It doesn't take a genius to know that this is unsustainable and it needs to end now.
Oh, that's good. Well spoken. That's good. Maternity wards are shutting down. I mean, could it be about what we're going to get into in the second half? Because I've got how to bias a study on safety and pregnancy. I mean, man, if I was an OBGN and I saw what happened in the last 5 years, I'd be quitting too. Right?
Think so?
I mean, they must see that. They must see what's been happening.
Probably.
Naomi Wolf.
I mean, everyone's getting fat too. Can you imagine looking at fat chicks' pussies all day? I mean, Jesus Christ. I couldn't imagine. That's not what they got into the business for.
You know what else I got for the second half?
But
Morning Glory Milk and Farm.
is that I don't know. I don't know if I want to know what that is. All right. Well, I got a couple things to get through quick here.
Female prom. Female prom.
Did you hear about the fortune cookie scandal? Not fortune cookie, Girl Scout cookies.
A little bit.
Glyphosate and heavy metal, like they've done studies on Girl Scout cookies where they break them down and find out what's in them. Oh, holy shit. They're fucking toxic as fuck. Thin Mints being the worst offenders, 5 flavors of Girl Scout cookies contained, back up, contained levels of glyphosate and heavy metals above EPA water safety limits. New investigation found 100% of tested Girl Scout cookies contained glyphosate, 100%. Controversial herbicide and Roundup, 88% contained toxic metals like arsenic, lead, and mercury. Key finding, Thin Mints had the highest glyphosate levels at 111.07 ppb, 334 times what experts say is harmful. Peanut butter patties had the highest heavy metal contamination, with lead reaching 42.5 ppb and aluminum at 27,500 ppb. 76% of cookies tested exceeded cadmium safety limits, and 96 contained lead.
That's wild.
Girl Scout USA, which sells 200 million boxes per year, $800 million in revenue, did not respond to researchers before publication. I wonder why.
Respond.
Shame, really. Those were good little cookies. Though I guess they're just glypho bombs.
They're like aluminum, just like the farms. I mean, what's with all this aluminum? Well, how can they end up with so many chemicals?
Oh man, they're just dumping the aluminum shit out there right now because they're about to prove that aluminum's terrible for a bunch of stuff, and they need it to come from someplace other than just vaccines.
Oh my God, that's a great point. Oh wow, you're onto it right there. That's what it is. It's the Girl Guide cookies that are giving people autism.
Chemtrails, it's a Girl Guide cookies. It's fucking anything, buddy.
Anything but the childhood schedule.
All right, let's finish with this one. Your buddy, Bill Gates. Oops. Let me share this here. This is a good crossover clip.
The team will need to regularly organize outbreak simulations, germ games that test the global response system and finds the weak spots. We do that for war, we do that for fire, we do that for earthquakes, and now we need to make sure we do it for pandemics. This team would keep their skills fresh, helping get rid of polio, get rid of malaria, get rid of measles and other infectious diseases. So they'll have immense value even in the years where we don't have a pandemic threat. I think it's a critical step to build this germ team, making sure we're ready for the next pandemic. The team will need to regularly...
The germ team. Did you notice the little logo up in the top?
White hats, yeah.
White hats.
Yeah, oh my God.
Well, that's something.
Well, did you see about the Canada debanking? I mean, maybe I should have. Let's just quickly talk about this quickly here. So,
oops, I posted that in the wrong spot. God damn it.
CTV News. Here's why you could be debanked by your financial institution. I mean, I should have read this article prior to this. Criticizing the government, debanked, not surrendering firearms, debanked, refusing to take injections, debanked, refused digital IDs, CBDCs, and a Chinese-style credit system. Social credit system, debanked. Of course, this is all far-right conspiracy theory until it isn't. And then Matt Alexander says, expect lots of people to be debanked shortly in Canada. The media is warming up to it. The media is warming us up to it. Wow, interesting. Generally, banks do not need to tell you why they debank you. Normally, they provide 30 days notice. Sometimes they provide none. Prepare accordingly. Lost Freedom Files 2342. What do you think about that, Darren?
Yeah, I seen that too. I don't know if it's a preparation or just still. Because everyone's still freaking out about that chick that got debanked.
Well, no, it's the CTV. Like the CTV is actually talking about it a few days ago on their article. So
we could use a far right.
Could use a
proper far right. We could use a proper far right.
We don't even have a right in Canada. I mean, our right is not even right of center, I don't think.
I don't know. I know some pretty right people. I mean,
And
maybe
Pierre
not.
well, it's very, very
Maybe
few.
not
I
a-
mean, Pierre
maybe
seems
not
to
a
be
government.
controlled up at this point. I mean, people are calling out Pierre lately, and it's like, yeah, it's really seeming like the whole conservative movement is just to take everybody that maybe has a chance of making a difference and just shoving them all into this controlled op. I mean, this is where a controlled op to me makes the most sense. Besides all the other like online new media controlled ops, this seems to be
The politics.
yeah, the right wing in Canada. Yeah.
They've always been. And probably the Republicans in America too. That's the beauty of the two-party system. Even though ours is not technically a two-party system, they managed to, for all intents and purposes, make it a two-party system. So
yeah,
here we are. All right, should we go to second half?
Yeah, let's get in some female goonery.
What? What's that?
Female goonery?
What's that?
Is it gooners? Is that what it's called? Gooners?
Gooners?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Female fappers, No?
Is that like jerking off, but for chicks?
Yeah.
This is what you got?
Yeah, that's what I got.
All right. Perfect. Like visuals or just all right, guys. We're gonna head to that. If you're a Plus member, tune in. If you're not a Plus member, head over to grindmarkoutlawed.ca, sign up today and check it out. We would love it for it, and it keeps the show going as well. If you're having fun, that's the best way to do it. If not, thanks for tuning in. Tell your friends, and we'll be back next week. Start us off with your goonery stuff, Graham. I'm curious to see what this is.
Well, okay, it's about the woke stuff that's happening too in Dungeons and Dragons. It's kind of got a fantasy, mythological, sexual
fantasy masturbation.
Well, yeah, that's
fantasy fapping. Fantasy female fapping.
Female fantasy fapping.
That should have been your title.
I know. I just didn't want to get too risque in the title. I mean,
risque.
It's the female gooners. But let's just start with showing like, so there's a really popular, in a lot of ways, we're winning the war.